Welcome back to another Halloween the Game video. Today we got some interesting tidbits, one of which we discovered because of Wheezy F Mamba, because a little pop-up on the Xbox store there, and then also an article from GameInformer that we didn't know about and were made aware of by a follower on X, Luke Beeling.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. But can't believe that somehow we overlooked a GameInformer article.
See, I think we did skim through it. I think someone was like, oh, look at a GameInformer article. We skimmed through it and we're like, oh, okay, it's everything we already know. But it wasn't.
It wasn't. There was more in there. Quite a few little quotes from Jared Garrettson, Chief Creative Officer at Ilphonic. So we'll talk about that. But I did want to start with the stuff that Wheezy F Mamba discovered over on the Xbox store for Halloween. And that is the ESRB rating was added. This is the only place that I've seen where it has been added. And ESRB, the website itself, doesn't have it, which is really strange to me.
Yeah.
I don't know why that wouldn't be updated immediately if they already have an ESRB rating. But here we are. Rated M. 17 plus. Intense violence, blood and gore, sexual content, nudity, use of drugs, and alcohol.
Oh.
Oh, I guess we can't play it.
A little too far for me. Drugs and alcohol, no thank you.
So yeah, obviously when you look at sexual content, nudity, that type of stuff, even the drug use, yeah, that'll be in the single player probably. It could be things like recreating the scene with Bob and Linda and experiencing that, putting on the bed sheet as Michael, and
yeah,
I could see that. It all makes sense to me. Then if we're actually even going through like the car scene with Annie and Lori, there's your drug use. Which, by the way, Sheriff Brackett smelled it. There's no way he didn't. I can't believe it. But yeah, this is interesting because the reason I find it so interesting is because ESRB, and this is just coming from my experience with working with ESRB and getting that final rating, that you have to give them a build that is very close to final.
Yeah.
And they have to be able to go through it and experience it and play it and justify their rating as a result. So that feels like they're way further along in this game than I ever thought they were.
Right. Yeah. ESRB, obviously, they have to play through most of the game, if not damn near all of it.
Yeah, especially single player.
Because then you could just sneak something in after you get this rating and it be completely out of line.
Right.
So it's really interesting. Are we closer to a release than we originally thought?
Yeah. Do they just sit on it as a result? Like just to match the holiday? Do they sit on the game that could be that close to being done just so you have a Halloween release date?
Yeah, we were theorizing maybe like late summer, like July, August, and then you can have your first big update in October leading up to Halloween. But maybe we're looking at like May.
Yeah, who knows? Who knows? Either way, if the game's going to do well, it doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
It's going to sell well. It is just, I was shocked to see an ESRB rating here. It is only on Xbox, so maybe that means it's not actually official and something weird happened here. You just never know.
Yeah, Xbox platform is a little wonky compared to the other platforms.
Yeah, things just kind of pop up here and there, and you never know if it's going to stick.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Intense violence, blood and gore, sexual content, nudity, and use of drugs and alcohol. Son of a bitch.
Here for it.
Yeah. We did say that they, in a normal scenario with the game, like Gun, when they're making the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, they're outsourcing a third-party dev, so they're paying them on a monthly per diem. Ilphonic's a little bit different in that way because they have their own in-house dev team.
Right.
So worrying about a per diem in the same way, it's a little bit different. Obviously, there's still payroll, but it's internal. You're not having to match a specific number every time on a per diem. So
they could sit on it.
Right. They could wait longer to release if they chose to, but who knows?
Yeah. Game Awards?
Yeah, I think just knowing that they're this far along, you're probably going to hear something special this October, and I think it's a no-brainer that they do something at the Game Awards. And that could actually, I'm just guessing now, official release date could come at the Game Awards.
Could.
It might be like 6 months out, maybe even more so when they do that, but I think the Game Awards is a very good place to be to start pre-orders and give a release date. But we'll see. Only time will tell.
I hope so.
But now let's jump into this article from GameInformer. And we're going to start just at the single-player campaign stuff and go through it. There's a lot here, but some interesting quotes from Jared. So He says Elphonic is aware that when it and other teams announce games based on popular horror IPs like Halloween, fans get bummed when they learn it's an asymmetrical multiplayer game. They wanted to include a single-player campaign for them, but that's not the only reason. Garrettson tells me the single-player campaign is designed to be played first, as it teaches you how to be the best Michael Myers in the game's multiplayer mode. That already is interesting.
Yeah.
We talk about tutorials a lot. Like TCM lacked a tutorial, and it made it so hard to step into that game and do well against even partially experienced players.
Yeah.
You go in and you just keep getting your ass whooped until you learn how to pass on that ass whooping.
Or you uninstall the game before you get there.
Right. I think playable tutorials are very important for ASIM. It really makes that transition into the game much better. Like even like Dead by Daylight, for example, you're only learning bare minimum stuff there, but it's enough. It's enough to get the wheels turning, you know? And then, of course, everything gets crazy with the meta game and just metas in general, you know? But yeah, I like that. You play the single player to learn how to play Michael, and that really should help people jump in and enjoy playing Killer right away.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times it's just not fun to play Killer in these games because you get your ass whooped. It takes a while to figure it out.
Right. In these games, the ones that have a large killer population is because they're overpowered.
Yeah.
Not because it's fun to play.
Right. And honestly, like, which side do you want to lean on? It's called asymmetrical for a reason, right? And I did want to say this. You know, we talked about bullying Michael last time, and how I don't want to see Michael bullied. I want to clarify my stance on this. There is a big difference to me between bullying and defending yourself. So everyone's like, Michael got bullied in the first film. I didn't see him get fucking teabagged and danced on. Like, he was scary the whole time. Does Lori fight back?
Yeah.
Does she defend herself? Yeah. Does Loomis do the same thing and shoot him?
6 times.
6 times. 7 if you count Halloween 2. You know? Yeah. He does. But what I'm saying is I want a direct counter to ganging up on Michael and teabagging on his lifeless body.
Stun locks.
Yeah.
Etc.
I'm not even saying teabagging in general, by the way. Teabagging doesn't bother me. But a lot of people get very upset about teabagging. To me, it like fuels me as a gamer. It doesn't really bother me. It's when, you know, like Jason's down on the ground in F-13 and you're standing there teabagging him and dancing on him, which is, it's funny. I get it. We're having fun here. But I think having a counter that makes that more scary would be fun.
Absolutely.
Just a little system where it's grabbing, if you get too close to him when he's down on his back, he grabs your ankle, which he does in the movies. It's accurate. It's lore accurate. So yeah, something like that. Just little things to allow him to directly counter you being a douchebag, I think would be nice.
Yeah.
That's all. I'm not saying you don't defend yourself.
Exactly.
Let's get the best of both worlds. That's what I'm saying. But okay, back to the article here. You'll play through the events of the first Halloween film and a little after to learn more never-before-seen story about that night and acquire different abilities and perform different kills on the citizens of Haddonfield in this campaign. It trains you to be an optimal Michael Myers for multiplayer, Garrettson says. The team is working with Carpenter and longtime franchise producer Malik Akkad. He's been its producer since 1985, taking over the reins from his father, who was the Halloween producer prior to that, to create this game, including the single-player campaign, so you can expect it to feel authentic to the original films. It will even emulate the 1970s movie vibe of the original film, with Garrettson calling a period piece game.
That's what these single-player gamers want to hear.
Yeah. You gotta match the vibes. I even hope they're
Absolutely.
trying to match the proper like 185 to aspect ratio, right? And
that'd be
doing
fun.
things like that. And I don't know how you match like anamorphic style inside of games, what that looks like in Unreal 5. I'm ignorant when it comes to that type of conversation, but something like that where you can recreate that feel would be cool. And of course, you get Dean Cundy, steady cam movements, the right lighting, you know. I expect to see those vibes. And everything we've seen so far seems to be doing that.
For sure.
But this means the visual style, the dialogue, and even the technology available to you in-game will match the time period. This applies to single-player and multiplayer content in the game, which Garrettson explained to me Elphonic has taken great strides to revolutionize this genre this time around. We're filling out the world with NPCs and AI, and heroes can save the town now instead of the standard do X, Y, Z, and escape alone. But you can play how you want, he says. If you're saving town people, you're slowing Michael down from killing people. On the other hand, if you're playing as Michael, you have more things to do that might be easier than killing a hero. So the power balance is a lot more interesting and different than the same old of the genre.
That is interesting.
Yeah.
More to do than just killing in an asymmetrical game.
Yeah, or at least killing other players.
Other real players.
Yeah. They put a big emphasis from the beginning here on sandbox.
Right.
And choosing what you want to do. And we've said it many times in the past that what makes asym more replayable is that lack of linear gameplay. Yep. It's when you, like Predator Hunting Grounds has a style that's pretty linear. It can be fun because you have the mix of battling the NPCs and whatnot in there, but it is just point A to point B to point C, go to the helicopter, get to the chopper.
And then being in the jungle all the time also doesn't help.
Yes.
The games can feel exactly the same a lot of the time.
Yeah, especially if you don't have a competent Predator in there, and then you just don't even see Predator, you're just going NPC to NPC to NPC. And yeah, so having just a bunch of different options to explore, and you do whatever the hell you want. F-13 was really good about that, where you got an open map, and there's limited objectives, but you choose what you want to do. You choose if you want to push car, push phone, try to kill Jason,
boat,
survive the night, boat. Yeah, like that wide variety of objectives that may allow you to pick where you want to go. It makes a big difference.
No two games are exactly the same.
Yeah. So that's one of the things that keeps it replayable even today. There's a reason people keep trying to play that game. So Halloween putting an emphasis on this sandbox world, even as Michael, is pretty sweet.
Yeah.
Wow. And one of the things I like about the NPCs can be very dumb. Unreal 5 does help a little bit in that, but Unreal 5 also comes with limitations, and that's going to be a conversation for a different video and a different stream with people that are more competent on Unreal 5. I'm looking into it, okay? But there are limitations that come with Unreal 5, and especially optimization, which is why it's not on previous gen consoles. I'm sure they didn't want to bother dealing with that. The fact that you can go in as Michael, even if the players you're going against are very good, you can walk out with some kills killing NPCs. I think that's nice.
Yeah, you can still have fun even if you don't win.
Yeah.
Per se.
Yeah. That'll be... It should be less stressful in theory, as long as you're not getting ganged up on whatnot. You should walk out of there with a couple kills either way. Halloween will utilize the canon of the franchise heavily, but Elphonic has been given the green light to add things it needs to make it fun. For example, in the movies, Michael has the uncanny ability to appear anywhere and is seemingly inhuman to the amount of damage he can take. His gameplay abilities will reflect that. Obviously. Okay, so gonna be hard to stun the big guy.
Yeah,
and you can't kill him.
And bringing up the ability to appear anywhere.
Yeah,
seems like kind of like a morph ability from Friday the 13th.
Yeah, that I'm telling you, the closet idea.
Yes,
sit on it.
yeah, go into a closet and be able to go into a different closet, come out of a different closet.
Yeah,
Michael should be coming out of the closet.
That's right. He is not a man anymore, after all, as Dr. Samuel Loomis declares in the reveal trailer. He is the Shape. Speaking of Loomis, Elphonic is working with the family of Loomis actor Donald Pleasance to use his likeness, as Loomis is the narrator of the game's campaign. First confirmation on that. Have not heard that before, so that's cool. Loomis is the narrator of the campaign, which means let's really dial in that voice actor, even though they're probably already done with it. I don't know. Maybe they readjust some things based on the feedback of the trailer, but it's not so awful that I won't be able to immerse myself in, but there's got to be better out there.
Right. That's the only set of lines we've heard so far, and we have rewatched that trailer over and over and over, so we just hear it and kind of, ooh, yep, every time. Yeah. Hopefully they can clean that up just a little bit.
And Karma, the Dark World developer Pollard Studio, is helping Elphonic develop the campaign, something Garretson says has supercharged the Unreal Engine 5 developed project. Garretson says Jason of Friday the 13th fame is a bull in a china shop, that the Predator is a big cat, powerful and noisy, and that Michael is a coiled-up cobra that happens to be in any bush you walk by. That will be reflected in his gameplay prowess, though Elphonic isn't ready to dive into specifics yet.
Okay.
All right. I'm sure coming soon. Probably in October.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Ilphonic is still supporting its older titles. It's released new Predator Hunting Grounds content in recent weeks, but Garrettson says this is the first time the entire team will be focused on one project in Halloween. Partly that's because Unreal Engine 5 allows the team to try new techniques it struggled with in the past, such as dynamic lighting and other technological feats. That's also an important fact. Yeah, like they're not splitting up their team here. Everybody's in. Now, everybody is all in on Halloween. That should give you, again, just reiterating. They're in for the long haul here.
Yeah.
Okay? This is like, if we miss here, fuck.
Yeah, this is all hands on deck. This is the golden child, if you will, which as it should be.
Yeah, it's Halloween.
It's Halloween.
We knew that. We knew that this is the big boy. It's the big boy horror IP. It's what everyone's been asking for, and they know that too. And I'm glad that they're making that crystal clear. It's like, we know, guys. We're going to make this happen. So keep that going. Keep that going, please.
What does that mean for Killer Clowns?
Well, that's another. It actually makes sense looking back.
Well, for sure.
Like why has Predator got less updates, lately? Because they were still pumping out a good amount of free unlockables, things like that.
And clowns.
Yeah, Killer Clowns. Like, why did it kind of go silent over there and they slowed updates down so much? It's because everybody on the team has been working on Halloween. Yeah. So pros and cons to that. But those games are alive and they're still supported.
Servers.
They have servers.
Yeah.
Yeah, and word around the office is Killer Clowns has something coming in October. I hope that's true.
I hope so.
And like they said, Predator Hunting Grounds just had a new piece of content. I know it's limited, but at least there's something. There's something happening over there still.
I'd assume, they're going to be working with the new movie.
Yeah, probably.
What's the new movie called?
Badlands?
Badlands. Predator Badlands. Which comes out in December?
I thought it was November.
November, December?
I don't know. It's all
Quarter four.
Yeah,
so I'm sure, Clowns and Predator will still keep trickling in content and updates and stuff like that so they can be playable while all the rest of the focus is on Halloween.
Yeah, which it's hard for me to complain about that.
Exactly.
Why now? After the release of Friday the 13th in 2017, Ilphonic made a massive list of the IP it wanted to play around in because you can't just grab an IP and say, okay, we're starting on it, Garrettson tells me. As you might expect, copyright and other rights issues make developing in an IP like Predator or Halloween tough. Garrettson says Ilphonic developed Friday the 13th, then Predator Hunting Grounds, and then had a couple of projects canceled. And while working on Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed, the Killer Clowns from Outer Space IP landed in its lap. During that game's development, Halloween arrived at its doors, and that's when we started going. Let's work on the next project and focus the entire company on it. Despite the studio-wide focus on Halloween's development, Garrettson says it's important that Ilphonic not abandon its prior projects, which he says it hasn't. We fully believe in making a game, supporting the game, and, even when going to another game, still keeping past ones going and fostered, he adds.
Like we just said, they might just trickle in stuff, but servers will stay on. They will give us some stuff. They will continue supporting the game.
They don't just blindly sunset it after giving the game for free for a month.
They haven't hit their full potential yet. That's why.
That's right. Yeah. As for developing a game around Michael Myers, Garrettson says there hasn't been much representation for him in games. I joke about owning the Michael skin in Call of Duty. Yeah, and that's exactly what you want for Michael, right? Garrettson jokes back. No, Michael is this unknown monster, the shape, that thing in the corner of your eye, the thing you're afraid to look out and see at night, and everyone has a different experience with him. He is the boogeyman, and that's why we're really all in on this game. Love that.
Yes.
Moving on to design. Okay. Fun sits at the top of Ilphonic's multiplayer priorities in Halloween, but a close second is breaking the stigma, Garrettson says. We have to use this world to make it bigger. What would happen if you zoomed the camera all the way out and saw Haddonfield beyond how it was needed for a scene in the movie? Ilphonic is focused on thoughtfully adding to Haddonfield. It's doing the same for Michael's set of moves. Since this game is based on the events of the first film, it places you in the same mindset as Haddonfield citizens and movie watchers, and when a lot about Michael Myers is obscured in mystery. We're kind of expanding on that, Garrettson adds. Is he looking for Laurie Strode, or just coming back home to right a wrong, or get revenge, or something else? You don't know what it is. All you know is he's Michael Myers, and he killed his sister. Loomis has gone crazy in the film because he's so obsessed with this thing he cannot understand, and in our game, you'll be playing the thing he and you cannot understand. I think that's definitely an interesting angle.
Here is the thing that really caught our eye. This next paragraph.
Here we go. For creating Michael's moveset, Garrettson says that the team watched Halloween over and over again, paid attention to the things he does in film, just kind of took that and determined what it means and what if you can XYZ. We essentially connected these things and presented it to the IP team and said, hey, this is what we feel like we can do. Though he's cagey about what exactly, Garrettson says the team cracked a mechanic I've never seen in any other game, and that players will have to experience this holy shit moment for themselves when Halloween launches on PlayStation 5, Xbox Series X and S, and PC next year. So a new mechanic in Halloween that they've never seen in any other game, and it's a holy shit moment. What does that even mean?
I don't know.
That is one of the most intriguing things we've heard so far, because all you can really ask for is you want this game to be fun. You want it to be good. And bringing something new to the ASIM table, just getting better every time we get one of these is what I want to see.
Yeah.
So bringing something in like that and making a statement like that, I hope it lives up to that, because it kind of reminds me of like when B. Harrison Smith was talking about Death House and the effect that lives up to Alien, a chest burster.
What effect was it?
Right.
I watched that movie 5 times. I don't know what he could even be talking about.
Right. So if I jump into Halloween and I don't find this new mechanic and have a holy shit moment, to be like, damn, like, I don't know what you were talking about, Jared. So I just hope that it lives up to that.
For
and
sure.
It sounds cool, man. And I don't know, everything we've heard, every time I start to like, oh man, I don't know if that's going to work. Something else comes out and I'm like, oh damn, that will work. That just keeps happening.
Yeah.
Like single player, we just said it on stream yesterday. It's like, where do I want to start, man? Like you have all this stuff that's coming into this game. Where do you start? Do you start with single player? Do you start with multiplayer? And then we've got a pretty crystal clear answer. It said, you're going to want to play single player first and learn how to play Michael. And then you can jump into ASIM.
Yeah.
And now Loomis is narrating. Wonder where they go with that. Adam F. Goldberg writing. I don't really have any worries about it.
No,
but
not at all. Yeah, it's interesting how much narrating. Is it just going to be like a intro during the loading screen and then you play as Michael, or is it as you're walking through the scenes as Michael, you hear Loomis's voice the whole time?
Yeah, like Pamela.
Is he telling you what to do? Is he telling you what not to do so you go do it, kind of a thing? I don't know.
Yeah. I assume it would be like more cutscene oriented.
Probably.
It could even be following like his sessions with Michael, and
yes.
you're just kind of hearing Loomis talk to Michael, and those are playing through cutscenes, or those could even be things that Michael you're hearing as Michael, calling back to it.
Yes, exactly. That'd be fun.
I don't know, I'm super intrigued.
I can't believe we skimmed this article because this came out August 25th.
Yeah.
So yeah, we kind of just scrolled through and we saw a couple key points and we're like, yeah, this is all stuff we've heard before, but there was a lot in there.
Well, it's nice. Not a lot of these gaming sites get horror fans, and so they don't ask the right questions.
Yes.
And Wesley LeBlanc, who wrote this article and did the interview with Jared, said that Halloween's his favorite horror movie of all time, and he seemed to actually know his shit.
Mm-hmm.
And that just when you are a fan yourself, it's so much easier to ask the questions that fans want answers to,
especially on a platform like GameInformer.
Yeah. So I appreciate this. Thanks, GameInformer. Do some more of these.
Yes.
Yeah, that's that. A lot of things to look forward to, it seems. I'm expecting some news on Thursday this week. They seem, well, we're guessing, just based on the pacing so far, that they're going to want to be doing community hub posts on the website every Thursday. We'll see if that actually comes to fruition or not. But
yeah, Thursday or Friday. Could have been because of the Labor Day holiday. Maybe a lot of people are taking off the Friday, so that's why it's on Thursday. Who knows?
Thursday can often be a gaming news day.
Yeah, I mean a lot of people are off on Friday.
Yeah.
Off or limited. So Thursday's a big day. We'll be right here.
Oh, just waiting.
If we're not watching football right there, we'll be here.
But what about The Conjuring? Conjuring comes out
Conjuring in the morning, Conjuring in the early afternoon, then here, then football.
Perfect. But Hey, that's our thoughts. Let us know yours in the comments below. It's going to wrap this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you drop a like and subscribe to our channel for more updates like this one. And of course, as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.